Hello and welcome. My name is Kim with Lotus Within Yoga. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video on Downward Facing Dog, or otherwise known as Adho Mukha Shavasana. Downward dog is definitely something that I found extremely challenging for at least a good 8 years when I started practicing yoga. I have a lot of pain and tightness in through my shoulders, my neck, and through my arms, as well as I used to have quite weak wrists and forearms. Now that's probably why I am so drawn to yoga, because I found that I now have a whole lot more mobility in my shoulders and my arms, and I'm a lot more comfortable. So saying that, downward dog was one of my least favorite postures for a super long amount of time. I'm going to run through a couple different ways that you can look at downward dog and hopefully find a little bit more comfort in that posture, as well as growing a little bit more strength and understanding as to how to hold this posture for your body type and just to find a little bit more confidence in the posture. We're going to start in a tabletop pose. So your hands underneath your shoulders, hips above the knees. And what I really want you to think about is pressing all points of your hand into the mat. Now that means pressure into your fingertips, in through your knuckles, as well as in through the palm. The only thing is that we don't want to drop all of our weight into our palms, because that's when we're going to find our wrists fatiguing, and it's going to be harder to hold that posture for a certain amount of time. Also, your pointer fingers are going to point forward. Now, depending on your body type and your bone structure, you may actually need to take your hands just a little bit wider. That's fine. Everybody's built differently. Just do what is most comfortable for you and your bone structure. I'm going to walk my hands out 1 to 2 inches just ahead of me. I'm going to keep my toes tucked under as I lift my hips up to the sky, pressing back into down dog, extending through the forearms. Now, at no point at any time do you absolutely have to have straight knees in your down dog. What actually is quite helpful is if you have that bend in the knees, especially at the beginning, just to allow your body to open up. Bending through the knees, tilt your tailbone up to the sky, and if it's comfortable, you can start to straighten out a little bit through the knees. But again, this is not necessary. Also, you do not need to have your ankles down to the mat. It has taken a long time for me to be able to get to that. So be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself, and know that your ankles up in your heels up and knees bent is not a problem. Rolling your shoulder blades back and down the body, really lengthening out through the spine. Being mindful that we're, again, pressing into all points of our hands, not dumping all the weight into our wrists. If you're having a little bit tricky time with the mobility in your shoulders, try walking your hands out just a little bit and see how that feels for you. Again, always being mindful of your tailbone going up to the sky. Your heart leads down, like if you were to press your heart towards your quads and your legs. And breathing. Losing connection with your breath is a surefire way to say that your body is fatigued and you may need to come out of it. If at any point during your downward facing dog you're feeling any dizziness, lightheadedness, if you have low blood pressure issues, taking your knees wide and bringing your hips back to your heels is always a great way into this child's pose, just to take a rest and collect your breath and find yourself again in just the moment. I hope those few little tips and pointers to your downward facing dog leaves you finding it a little bit more comfortable. Just, again, please be gentle to yourself. And if your bones are telling you that your body doesn't go in that way, There's no problem with you walking out your feet a little bit wider, a little bit closer together. Same with your arms. Find something, make the posture work for you. Find something that lets your body be comfortable in the pose. Downward dog is also an inversion, so it also gives you all those wonderful benefits of recirculating the blood in through your body. Also, as well as it's going to really gain strength in through your arms, your shoulders, your back body, and in through the legs. Down dog is meant to be a restorative type pose, a resting pose while you're practicing. Doesn't always feel that way, but hopefully over time and playing with it, you will find a little bit more ease and comfort in your downward dog. Thank you again for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if there's any other postures that you're hoping to take a little deep dive in, and we'll get that done. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.